Hey everybody, today I'm going to make some mudroom benches and some cubbies for the top, around the top. There's 6 people in my family, so I'm going to try to make an underneath spot for each person for their boots and hats and gloves and that type of thing in the winter, and then the rollerblades and the rain galoshes and that type of thing in the summer. I looked around and around. You know, there are very difficult plans everywhere on the internet on how to make cabinets and how to, do these benches. And I like to work with my hands. I like to work with wood. One of my jobs is to actually revamp kitchen cabinets. And I found this is going to be the easiest way for me. I'm going to try to use tools that everybody has. You're going to have to be able to cut 2x4s. You're going to have to put in big screws or big nails. You're going to have to use glue. But hopefully everything I do, you'll be able to do on your own at home as well. So, thanks. What I've done so far is I started at a height off the ground that I felt would be comfortable for us to sit at. I went at 20 inches up off the ground. I'm really now thinking back, I should have probably maybe done 18 because it's probably going to be 21 inches or so when I'm all said and done, and that's a little bit high, but I think it'll still work. I located the studs and put that back support on there with some 3-inch screws to make sure it's good and sturdy. The kids tend to flop down, just like kick out their legs and land on their butt when they sit on things. So I want to make sure this is good and strong and it'll last the next couple decades. So I put a support across the front. I leveled it off and nailed a 2x4 so everything's level and square. This is 18.5 inches from here to here, which I think is going to be plenty of spot for rumps. I'm going to do that again here all the way across. Actually, I'm going to go here all the way across, and then I'm going to go here all the way across. And I'll come back once I got that. I'm just screwing it into finding the studs. It's a little bit easier for me because I just sheetrock this, so I know where the studs are. And I didn't hit every stud. I just made sure that, got a couple screws in there. It's going to stay good. With the 3-inch screws, they really go a long way. So, literally. So I'll come back when I have my frame set up. I'm going to reinforce this in here right in the middle, just to put another one in there, make sure it's good and reinforced, I think. But when I get there, I'll get there and I'll show you it. Thanks. Take a little break and show you what I got. So I had that frame and I extended it out. Same thing as I did on the other side. I put a 2x4 on the cap of that one, screwed it in, leveled it up, and then put one in between these two that I had before. And then I got this 3/4 plywood, and I cut it to 3/4 of an inch larger, about 3/4 of an inch, about a 1/16 off, larger than my little frame. And then I'm going to take on the sides, I think this is one. That goes under just like that, and that's 3/4 inch plywood, so that flushes up real nice. And then same with this side. What I'm gonna do is stick a couple 2x4s in here for support, so I have something to nail to. See that? No, that's perfectly square. That's not a problem. And then I have some pieces of wood that I'm going to put. I got a 4-inch piece of wood that I'm going to put here, and then 4-inch across. and then 2 4-inches down there in the corner going down to the floor, 2 over there going to the floor, 1 to there going to the floor, and then across. And then once I have that, I'll come back and I'll get some like 2-inch stuff or 1.5 inch, and we'll come all the way around with it in front of that face frame, all the way around, and look nice and finished. Then I'm going to get some beadboard and put it up around there, and then we'll put some quarter round in there, so you won't even see where I bashed the crap out of the sheetrock because the walls weren't square.